welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about my larger totes. You guys know that I have 2 of the Neverfull GMs and 1 of the Goyard St Louis bags in the GM size as well. And I've always been a sag girl. I love a good bag sag, but I will admit whenever I got the Goyard, I wasn't really prepared for that much sag. And also you can see from the inside of this bag, it is very white, very bright, and very clean looking. So honestly, it originally started as a way for me to find something to protect the interior of this bag. I really wasn't looking for an insert per se, but that's what I ended up buying. And I'm actually really happy with the purchase that I made. I was also gifted a couple as well, but let me go ahead and show you the bag insert that I purchased. So this is the insert that I purchased. I actually purchased it from the brand Samorga, I believe is how you pronounce it. One of my amazing subbies, Pam, had mentioned that she purchased this, and I honestly, I had to have it. I loved the idea of the fact that this one had no interior pockets. I wasn't looking for an organizer because I do have my 5 essentials. I wanted something open and just really simple. I also wanted something that didn't have a hard, like, stiff bottom. I wanted something that still was very soft, and whenever I saw this one, I wanted to give it a try. So I went ahead and ordered this one. I think it was around $40, $45. I don't remember. I did get it really quickly, which I was really happy about. So I've been using it for quite a while. And I will say, I know that I've been very, very hesitant about bag inserts and things like that. But I can say with confidence, I bought this one with my own money. I highly recommend this one. So a couple of weeks after I purchased this one and was trying it out, Samorga actually reached out to me and wanted to send me a couple of other inserts. At first I almost said no, just because I'd already bought this one. There was really no point in me getting anything else. I really didn't want any other organizers. And so I was doing some research and I came across these. Now these are very similar to the one that I bought for the Goyard. These are for the Neverfull though, but the layout is slightly different. Now they are similar with the fact that they have no organizers on the inside or anything like that, but it has one interior pocket, which I kind of wish that one had a pocket. But you can also add a top portion to this to make it a little bit more private because it has a zipper. This is the piece that you would put on and you can zip it closed. Let me show you. You can zip it closed. It does have double zippers, but I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not a big fan of this. One, I really like that totes are open, but I will say if you are traveling or if you're using this as a diaper bag, this could definitely be an option that might work for you. I went ahead and had them send these to me just because she said they were the newer ones and she wanted me to just kind of check them out. So I went ahead and said yes to these. So this is what it looks like whenever you put the Velcro top on. Like I said, they has like a double zipper just like the Speedy Bandoliers do. So it opens up just like this. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of these. I feel like it takes away a lot of the usable space of the Neverfull. I can understand where some people might want a little bit more privacy in the Neverfull. But to be honest, I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody really wants to get inside your bag, this is Velcro. You can literally just pull this off. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily secure. It's more for visible privacy, if that makes sense. So this is the insert for the Neverfull GM. I got the brown for the monogram, and then she also sent me this lighter color for my Azure. I have been using all 3 inserts. I've been using this one in my Goyard, this one in my Neverfull MM, or Neverfull monogram, and then the cream one in my Neverfull GM Azure. I wanted to use them for a while because I wanted to get an honest, true opinion of them. And I really wanted to let you guys know my honest, true opinion because I haven't had the best opinion on inserts in general, but I really was looking for something that would work for me, specifically for my Goyards, not necessarily for my Neverfulls, but I really was looking for something for the Goyard. I love the insert for the Goyard, and I will show you guys in just a second. I love this one. It's really simple. I love that it's going to help keep the interior of the Goyard clean. I love that it's really soft and it doesn't take away the main, it does take away some of the sagginess, but not all of the sagginess, which I love. It doesn't take away all of the slouchiness, which I love. So I love the inserts in my Goyard. I am not a big fan of the inserts in the Neverfull, and here's why. The reason why is because I do think that the Neverfulls do have some sag, but not as much sag as the Goyards, and I actually like the little bit of sag that you get from the Neverfull and the GM. Now, I'm not saying I won't ever use these. I think that this one would be great to use for travel whenever I do want the bag to be a little bit more, like kind of open up a little bit more and be able to use all of the footprint of the Neverfull. And I also do like the fact that this one inside the Azure will keep the interior of my Azure clean, because this Azure interior is very, very light. So there are pros to it, but I will say I don't think that I'm gonna keep the one in my monogram on a daily basis, and I don't think I'm gonna keep it in this one on a daily basis. But the Goyard one will stay in there every day, and that is the only way that I will use the Goyard. So let me show you the Goyard before and after with some items in it without the insert, and then with the insert, just so you can see kind of how it shapes it. Okay, so this is the Goyard without anything on it. And by the way, I actually believe you pronounce it without the D. I'll probably continue to pronounce the D. It's actually Goyard instead of Goyard, but I can't help it. It just is what it is. Okay, so I have my toiletry 19 and it is full, so it's pretty heavy. And then you have my full-size zippy wallet, also full. And then I have my Louis Vuitton Agenda MM. So when you put the items in there, it gets really saggy. And depending on the way the items fall, it could get this saggy, or it can get even like really, really pointy and saggy. It really just depends. Like, let me show you. I'm just gonna show you with one, like my toiletry 19. I actually had very few items in it the other day, and it was almost like pointy saggy. It was so saggy. But like I said, even though I don't mind the sag, granted I wasn't prepared for this much sag, I do, I was more concerned about just keeping this crisp and white. So let me show you with the insert. One, this fits in here like a glove. It literally is the perfect fit. And even though the Goyard and the Neverfull and the GM sizes are very similar, they are two different sizes. So make sure you order the right one. I'm not saying you couldn't use them in the opposite, but they do fit a little bit better. So let me put the 3 items in there again, and let me just show you. It obviously is a big difference, but if you notice, it's still squishy. It's still soft. Do you see this? It's still really, really soft and squishy, so it doesn't take away the entire squishiness of the bag, which is why I love this particular insert in this particular bag. So you can see I don't have to worry about the interior getting really, really dirty. I just think over time this is gonna really help keep this bag fresh and new and clean. So I love that. So I will continue to use this insert in my Goyard every single day. I'll probably never, ever take this insert out. So here is the GM with those same 3 items with no insert and just the 3 items in there. You can see I love the amount of sag that this has. It's really squishy and comfortable. I feel like when you put it on your shoulder, it just feels really good, and I just like it. And yes, there is a sag, but it's not really, really bad. So let me put the insert in there and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so here is the insert with the 3 items in there, and I just want to show you. I don't know why, but for some reason, I just feel like this one feels so much stiffer in this bag. Do you see how it just isn't as squishy? It really creates like boundaries, I feel, and I don't know if it's because the Neverfull is already a little bit more naturally stiffer than the Goyard, and then you've got the stiff plus the stiff, and then so it just feels a lot bulkier, if that makes sense. And so I don't know why. I'm not saying that I completely dislike the insert in the Neverfull. I just really like the slouchiness of this, and I feel like this just isn't as slouchy. Like, it's never gonna look slouchy. It's always gonna look exactly like this, which is fine. But my favorite thing about the Neverfull is the slouchiness, is the sagginess, is the flap, because this will kind of flap over, and I love that. So I think that I would solely use this insert in the Neverfulls for travel or for things like that. If we're going to an event and I really just need a lot of room and I just want to kind of expand it and be able to have all of the space usable, I really do like that. Now, even though I get this, I understand the concept of this, and I think this will work for some people. It's not for me. I'm not really big into these zipper insert things. For me, one of my things that is attractive about totes is the fact that it's open, and look at how much space becomes, in my opinion, unusable. Not that you're filling up a Neverfull all the way to the top. Let's just be honest. That's not going to be something you do all the time, but it is what it is. I wanted to show you guys. I thought it would be a good option to show you. My final thoughts are, I do recommend these inserts. I think they're great. I personally will continue to use the Goyard one, which is the one that I originally purchased, every day because I do love it. I think that if you're looking for a Neverfull insert, this is a great one. I love that the bottoms aren't stiff. I will not be purchasing any other inserts or putting any other inserts in any of my other bags. It's not even an option for me. But when I did get the one for the Goyard, I really was curious to see if I would also like them for the Neverfull. I won't say that I dislike them for the Neverfull, but I prefer the Neverfull like sag, and I prefer the Goyard a little bit more structured, if that makes sense. Kind of like a happy medium, if that makes sense. So I do think that, like I said, I think these are great inserts. I do. I really think they're beautiful, very well made. My only complaint about them is the middle seam. You can see that middle seam there. It is like a raised middle seam. However, I understand why it's there. Let me show you this one. I love this color. It's so beautiful. The middle seam is there, so it is raised, as you can see. But I will say I do like the fact that these sides aren't stiff. So I get why the middle seam is there, but I just feel like my stuff kind of, I don't know, lays on top of it, if that makes sense. So I do think these are great inserts. I recommend these. Like I said, Samorga sent me these two, just gifted these two for me with no obligation or anything, which I thought was really nice. And I thought that was really sweet of them. So I probably won't use the one in the monogram hardly ever unless for travel. The one in the Azure, I'm actually probably going to keep it in there, but more so to keep the interior clean so that this piece can get like dirty over time, and then we'll see. But I love the one in the Goyard. I highly recommend that. So yes, you guys can kind of decide if you like the ones with the inserts on top. The ones with the insert does have the pocket, which I do also prefer. I wish that the Goyard one had a little pocket. That would have been nice, but not the end of the world. It's just a really good spot for your cell phone because your cell phone fits there perfectly. You can see right there. I think just in general, if you're looking for an organizer, I'm really impressed with these. These are the only organizers that I've owned from this brand, and I would definitely recommend this one for the Goyard. If you have a Goyard or you've been considering buying the Goyard and you just don't like how saggy they are, those Goyards are really saggy, but I do really like it. I've had quite a few people ask how I'm liking the Goyard. I am liking it. I think it's a great bag. I do think it's a good alternative to the Neverfull, but it definitely wears completely different than the Neverfull. And I feel like it does look different than a Neverfull. It's very unique, very different, and I get a ton of compliments on it. I get a ton of questions about it, and people are just kind of curious what it is, especially since they see me carry Louis Vuitton a lot and they're curious kind of what that print is. And so I've actually had a few people ask if it was Louis Vuitton, and then you kind of get into the conversation about talking about Goyard and the history. I love the history of Goyard. I know that a lot of people, especially whenever I did my reveal, my unboxing video of the Goyard, a lot of people aren't aware of the history of Goyard. Goyard has actually been around longer than Louis Vuitton. They started with trunks and stuff just like Louis Vuitton. And I actually think the story of Goyard is pretty incredible. The difference is Louis Vuitton went a little bit more mainstream, whereas Goyard really tried to stay like word of mouth. They really don't do any marketing. They kind of have stayed where they're at. There's very few Goyard locations here in the United States, but I do love the bag. I think it's beautiful. I could definitely see buying another Goyard bag. I just don't know which one at the time, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. I love talking about bags, you guys know, and this is definitely a product that I really have been happy with, and I have been very hesitant about bag organizers. You guys know this, and I'm just glad to have found something that personally I can recommend. Not only did I buy one on my own and I'm really happy with it, but I also received a couple to try. And even though I'm not a big fan of them in the Neverfull, I definitely think that these inserts in general are really nice quality. Like I said, I love the fact that the bottoms aren't hard and stiff to create those really harsh lines and corners. So I'm just really glad that I found something that I can now recommend to you guys, because I get a ton of questions about bag inserts. I will not be putting bag inserts in any of my other bags. I really had just considered it for the Goyard, and then when she offered to send me some for my Neverfull, I figured I would go ahead and give it a try. So I will not be putting inserts in any of my other bags, my Speedies or anything like that. I love the sag. My main reason for wanting in the Goyard is just simply to keep the interior cleaner. I want to keep that white as crisp white as possible. And then also the sag was a little intense in some situations. Even though I like a good sag in my tote bags, I do, it was a little intense in some situations. So yes, I recommend this. I definitely recommend it in the Goyard. And I think the Neverfull one is nice as well. May not work out for me specifically, but I do recommend it. And I think that in general, if you're looking for inserts, I think these are a good brand to go with. So I would definitely recommend it. But you guys have a fabulous day, fabulous week, and I will see you guys in my next video. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.